Well, good evening. Welcome to CBS Baltimore.com. We've had some rain in the region. Temperature down to 69. Got up in the upper 80s for the first day of school. And it was like a summer day, that's for sure. Now the cool air is moving in. 64, 59. South of us, where it hasn't rained, still in the 80s. Very warm temperatures for this time of year. 77 Ocean City, 79 Turk, 75 in D.C., where they're getting some pretty good rain right now. In the Baltimore region, some rain in the air. The heaviest just west of us over portions of southwest Baltimore County, Carroll County, Howard County. That's moving off to the northeast. So anywhere north of this city, and actually right now some lightning showing up just southwest of town. We're going to see some of these storms moving through the region. So far, no severe weather locally. We had some reports of trees dying in Washington County, Northern Virginia early this afternoon. Right now, the storms have kind of died down a little bit. One pretty good cell here just northwest of the city, as you can see it, right through portions of southwest Baltimore County, southern Carroll County. That's moving up toward maybe central and northern Baltimore County and portions of Harford County. Eastern Shore, it's going to take a little while longer, but you'll get your storm activity probably after 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight, maybe lasting until really late tonight. And then we'll have some rain moving into the region. Quick look at Irma, winds 185. Yes, it's a Category 5 storm, just a very, very dangerous. Look at the eye, clearly showing up. By the way, the hurricane winds now extend out 60 miles. That is tremendous. The tropical storm force winds 175 miles. So basically, if you go from the eye, 175 miles, we're talking about from Baltimore to almost New York. Okay, that's all tropical storm force winds, and that's on both sides of the storm. This thing is huge right now, and it's extremely dangerous. It's heading toward the Leeward Islands tonight. It will be there as a Category 5 storm. If it actually makes landfall down there, even if it doesn't, they're going to have tremendous, tremendous damage, and really just catastrophic damage as possible. It's going to be a really bad scene. Eventually, still as a 5, just north of Puerto Rico. This is Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Now, if it comes a little further south and hits those mountains there, yes, they'll have tremendous flooding, but it's also going to knock that storm down once it gets away from the warm water. The same thing can happen if it crosses Cuba in this direction, which it could. That's also going to knock the storm down before it ever gets to the Florida Straits or Florida. But you see the curve? Most of the models do have it headed either toward the Gulf or toward Central Florida or Eastern Florida or Southwestern Florida. So all of Florida right now is on alert. They're evacuating a lot of people. People are preparing. There's not a drop of water to be found in the supermarkets in Naples, Fort Myers, Miami area. It's just going to be terrible if it gets in that local area as a Category 4 storm. We're going to have some serious damage down there in Florida. Meanwhile, you can see the tracks still have it pretty closely aligned, but by the time we get to the end of the week, we've got about a 500 or 600 mile spread to where this storm could go. It could actually never even get to Florida. It could come up the East Coast. It's possible before turning out to sea. I mean, there's a pretty strong cold front moving through. That may help to push it out. There's another front coming in here Saturday. So there are a lot of elements involved. What's been happening is there's a big dome of high pressure out here, which is continuing to force it to the west. It's blocking it, so that's why it's going out to the west. However, there's also another area of low pressure out here that's helping to spin it in this general northerly direction. So between these two, there's kind of battle going on. And we're talking about, I mean, think about this. If you drop a stick into a stream and it's going like this, it's kind of hard to predict exactly which side of the river it's going to go, isn't it? That's what's happening. The atmosphere is a river of air. There's so many elements involved. Just to have this kind of track is pretty remarkable with all the data we have, but that's the way it looks right now. Once it gets past Florida, if it's inland here over Georgia, of course, it's going to weaken. As soon as it gets out of the warm water, it'll quickly weaken, but it's going to be a major flood producer. I mean, you can see 10, 20 inches of rain, and they've already had a lot of rain in that region. Meanwhile, we have a new tropical storm way out in the eastern Atlantic. It's moving west at 12 miles an hour, but it's expected to make a big turn in the middle of the Atlantic. However, it will become a hurricane. Yes, even by Wednesday afternoon, it'll probably become a hurricane, and that's going to get very close to the leewards once again by Friday night and Saturday. They could be hit by 2 storms in a 4 or 5 day period before it heads out in the Atlantic. Eventually, it's going to recur. Not a threat at this point to any of the East Coast or the western portion of the Caribbean. Pretty crazy stuff. Meanwhile, this frontal boundary with a lot of showers and thunder shower activity is moving across the Baltimore and Maryland area. And in fact, from New York all the way down into the Carolinas, even in Connecticut, Massachusetts, getting showers and storms. It's a pretty strong cold front. Now, behind the front, we're going to see more rain development because that front's going to slow down once it hits the coast. more rain develops behind the front, and that's when the chilly air. Tomorrow's going to be in the 60s, probably the 50s in Garrett County, with rain in the morning. Could linger for a while. As you see, we could see maybe an inch of rain in some spots. Then Thursday morning clears out, cooler conditions. Looks like a really nice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the weekend. Beautiful fall-like conditions. Now Saturday, there'll be a second front coming through. It'll bring a few clouds. Don't expect to see any showers, but it will also really kind of reinforce the chilly air. North winds 5 to 10 knots in the bay with no advisory. Tomorrow, the water temperature down around 73. Tonight then, showers and storms early on, rain coming in later on. 66, maybe a little cooler. Upper 60s tomorrow. Few showers around, mainly in the morning it looks like, but certainly a lot cooler. The next 5 days, we may get to upper 60s to low 70s. 74 on Thursday, Friday, cooler for Saturday and Sunday. Nighttime lows, look for a lot of 40s in the suburban areas. Yes, it'll be pretty chilly in those mornings. Have an updated look at the forecast and the tropics later tonight.